Hey Internet, what's up? Zach, WaveRiders14, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create a proper muzzle flash. Now of course all of these are different based on the user's preference and their opinion, but this is just what I think looks good. So we have this is my test video. Not too bad. We have a nice muzzle flash. There's a bunch of smoke elements in there. There's a nice glow. And I just got a text. Anyway, shell casing. So we're going to be learning how to do that. So I'm going to go to my original footage, which is right here, and drag it into a new comp. Guess I already had one. So here it is right here, and I'm going to go to composition, and I like to work in 1280 by 720, personal preference, and I'm just going to rescale this down to what it needs to be at. And we're going to create a new, oh my goodness, null object. And we're going to name it tracking data. And we're going to click on the original footage, and we're going to click the tracker over here, or you can go to window tracker, and we're going to track motion. Make sure you're at the very first frame, and we're going to do position and rotation. And you have to put it in a point, put both of them in a point that stays visible throughout the entire shot. And it also has to be high contrast with the rest of the shot so that it sticks out. So that looks like it should be good, and we're just going to hit, we'll edit target, make sure it's on the null object, and we're just going to hit play. Okay, so it's finally done, and we're going to hit apply. Make sure you hit edit target and make sure that it's still at the null, and just hit apply. Yes, and now all your track data is in this null object, which we will use to parent all of our elements so that it stays where it needs to be. So the first thing we're going to do is add our muzzle flash. Now I'm using muzzle flash 12. It'll vary based on what kind of gun you're using, and you're going to want to scrub through your footage using the page up, page down. Page down goes up, well, forward one frame, page up goes backwards one frame, and you're just going to want to find right there. He pulls the trigger on that frame, so we're going to start it there. Boom. And this muzzle flash is backwards, so we're going to hit W, which is rotate. Whoops. That's how I think of it. Rotate, W. And if you hold shift, or if you click it and then hold shift, it'll rotate it by 45-degree increments. And just line it up. And we are going to go to Effect, Color Correction, Curves. And we're going to take out some of the red because you want to make it look realistic. Add a little bit of green, or take away a little bit of green, or add a little bit, and then add some blue, take away some blue, increase the brightness overall, and take down a little bit of that. That looks bad. No, I'm kidding, it looks okay. but that's for the sake of the tutorial. I'm not going to fine tune it, and we'll leave it at that. It looks pretty decent. And the next element I used is a wisp 1. And we're going to drag that below the muzzle flash, and to show you what that looks like, again, line it up even with your footage, and it's just kind of like a poof. So we're going to use that, and like the other one, oh, let me change to half so it runs quicker. Rotate the layer, and it's going to be going, you want it to go up a little bit, and like right there, looks pretty decent. And we don't, it's not going to be like that's really long, so we're just going to shorten it or speed it up. Time, right click, time stretch, and maybe like 20% will probably be pretty decent. And we're going to tint it, color correction, tint, and then color correction, curves, and just lower it some. And then again, also hit F4, or no, you don't need to hit F4 because the parenting is already up. Parent each thing to the tracking data. So the next thing I used was the powder hit 2. Drag it below the wisp, line it up, and that's a nice big explosion. We're going to scale that down quite significantly. And also with this, if you scrub through, the particles fall down. So we want it to fall up. And just put it kind of right in the middle here. Turn off the muzzle flash. We're just going to put it right in the middle. So that it poofs out. And we'll just go to the wisp, and we'll copy these, whoops, just hit my elbow, and paste them onto this, just so they match. And we probably want to speed that up as well. Time stretch, probably like 45, nope, 30. That'll be good. And parent it to the track data. And I also used powder hit 1 and put it below powder hit 2. Line it up. Speed it up. Well, now it's way shorter. Scale it down. Rotate it so it falls up, and move it into place. And then also paste your effects. So the next thing is the shell casing. I used 8mm 1, move it above the muzzle flash. And this one we're going to put right one frame before all the other ones. And that's going to be scaled down a lot. I think my other one was about 6%. We're going to put it right about there. And then we're going to keyframe the position. So we're going to start it there, move forward about 14 frames or so, so that's like here. Oh man, super slow. And we're going to move it down here. and we are going to bring this up so that it falls whoop, right down. Maybe bring this up a little bit. Just like that. And also hit this button or hit F4, turn on the motion blur for that and the layer. Turn the muzzle flash back on. And you can add an adjustment layer to give the overall scene a little bit of correction. Brighten everything and darken stuff. Another text. Unpopular. Just to give it so that everything matches nicely. And the most important step, I didn't parent this, and I'll delete this just to make my workflow nicer. Didn't parent that either. Man, I am slacking. The most important step is to duplicate this layer, Control D, or I guess Command D on a Mac, or you can do Edit, Duplicate, and we are going to use the pen tool and mask out what you think would be affected by the muzzle flash. And by that I mean what it would cast shadows on, or cast light. And I'm going to take the eclipse tool, go here, and hold Control as I drag it out to make it stay, the center point stay in the middle. And I'm going to feather both of these out to about 210. And we're going to switch back to this mode, change it to add, and then lower the opacity to about 50. So it gives it a nice glowing effect. And keyframe it and go up one frame, page up, change it to 0, and then go so it turns on when the muzzle flash turns on, and then go forward about 3 frames, or 2 or 3, somewhere around there, and change it back to 0. And then I'm going to turn this one, hitting F9, into an easy ease keyframe. We'll name that light. So that is it. That is my tutorial. I would show you the finished product, but it's taken really long to render, so you get the idea. If you want to say, because he shoots again later, just move it forward and then rotate some of the layers, use a different muzzle flash, that'll really sell the look. Change the location of the shell casing. But that's it, so thanks for watching. This has been Zach, WaveWriters 14. See you later.